So maybe you make money in a strong currency in a rich country like USA or some rich country in the Europe, and you are planning to come here Brazil, and you are thinking about the positive points, negative points. So I'm a native here in Brazil, living the last 36 years, and I will show you which cases I believe are not good for coming here to Brazil, and what scenarios are good to come here to Brazil. Okay, so stay with me until the end of this video, that I'm sure it will be worth it. Okay, first of all, I'd like to clarify here that Brazil, in my opinion, is one of the best places in the world to live. Okay, if you can overcome the two main problems here. Number one, the low purchase power here. Okay, and number one, number two, the violence. Okay, if you can solve these two problems, Brazil is one of the best countries in the world. It's a safe place, it's a very stable climate place, has a lot of variety of climates to choose. There's a nice people here living here, okay, warm people, okay. Brazil is not involved in conflicts, okay, so if you want to come here, it's very stable in the long term, okay. He's not involved in world conflict, okay. Strategically in the world is in a very privileged location, okay, very far away from big conflicts, okay. So I think Brazil is one of the perfect spots. Why so many people are living Brazil here? Because the two main problems that I mentioned, okay, mainly the first one, that is the purchase power, okay. Really for a Brazilian, making life here is really difficult, okay. It's a lot of suffer, a lot of fight for having the basic, many times does not even having the basic, because of the purchase power, okay. So many Brazilians go live overseas to have at least the basic, okay. And the violence here is another big one, but I think a lot of Brazilians would not go live overseas only because of the crimes, okay, because the crimes here depends a lot where you live in Brazil, okay. Brazil is very big, and there are plenty of safe places here, okay, and obviously generally big metropolises are not safe. It's not exclusively one metropolis, but generally when a city becomes over, let me say, 500,000 inhabitants, okay, this city automatically starts to be a little bit unsafe, because the laws here in Brazil are all the same for the whole country, and that's it. The same problems repeat over and over again, okay. So let me start here the scenarios, okay. The first scenario, I'll start for the, in my opinion, the only scenario that doesn't worth coming here, okay, that is coming here to work, to get a job, okay. What happens here is that I don't know what the government has against jobs, but he works so hard to destroy all kinds of jobs he can. He do the best he can to destroy the jobs. It's not only this government, but all governments before, for the last, let me say, 100 years. So the result here today is that you doesn't have jobs good enough to, let me say, sustain a good life, okay. What I mean by good life is having the basic. It's a good place to live, with safety, okay, a car, investing, eating well, like me say, like traveling around a couple of times a year, let me say like this. You have to make a lot of money to do, in reais I mean, okay, not in dollars, in reais. And simply it's very hard to find jobs that pay a lot of in reais, okay. So what people do here is working by themselves a lot of times, like small entrepreneurs, okay, autonomous, and simply they don't look for a job, let me say like this, many times. Or they study to be a public servant, because public servant here has a lot of benefits in relation to the normal private sector, okay? So that's how it works, okay? So if you are coming here to look for a job, I don't recommend this, okay? Go look for a job in another country, in a rich country, let me say like this. You will have a much better purchase power. But probably is not the case. You are not looking for a job here in Brazil. You are in the scenarios I'll describe from now on that are good, okay? The first scenario here is you have a passive income in dollars or euros, okay? Any kind of passive income, let me say that you have a house in your home country, you rent this and you take like 2K per month. It's very common because rents in rich countries are very expensive. And I presume that there's a lot of foreigners that only renting their house, they can have a really excellent life here in Brazil. So if you can make like $2K a month, okay, you have excellent perspective here in Brazil for one person, okay? Let me say that you are only one person, 2K per month here, you can have a really excellent life, okay? Really excellent. But if you make a little bit less, like 1.5K or even 1K, you can have a modest life here in Brazil, only one person, living alone here with $1K. There's plenty of places that you can have a really good life. I'm not talking about big metropolis that usually the rent is more expensive, okay? But there are a lot of places that, yes, you can have a nice life with this kind of money, okay? The second scenario here is digital nomad, okay? If you are a digital nomad for the same reasons I mentioned it, yes, there is plenty of places, because when you have let me say a passive income that doesn't depend to get a job, you can choose a lot better here in Brazil. A lot of places that Brazilians cannot choose because are smaller place that doesn't have a lot of opportunities, but the rent is a lot cheaper. So if you doesn't depend of getting a job, you are in an advantage. You have plenty of better place to choose here in Brazil, and there is plenty of good, nice place to live. Okay, you have a good life, much better than you have maybe in your home country, where the prices are so high, and rich countries have problems too. Okay, so I think you have a nice life. Okay, and that's it. The last hypothesis here is a retired. Let me say you are retired. Retired. You have your income from retirement, and that's the same number here, 2K a month. From 2K up to much more is better, okay? But 2K, you can, for one person, have a really good life in a big metropolis, okay? If you make less than that, like 1K, 1.5K, you can go to the countryside. There is a lot of really good countryside to live, mainly in São Paulo. Okay, São Paulo, I think, is the state with a much more variety of good countryside cities, let me say like this, because they are very well developed, okay, and are small. But you have to check my channel or the other videos to see, let me say, the best cities. Some cities are not safe, okay, but there are plenty of options in São Paulo to go, okay? And I like a lot here, coming here to Brazil in this scenario, that want to invest, let me say, in the real estate market, because it's really a tradition here in Brazil, investing in real estate, and we have a very high population here. Always will need for a home to live. Okay, and you can get excellent deals here in Brazil because you are buying homes in reais. Okay, and you can buy more properties here than you could in your rich country. Let me say a country you would spend a lot more to invest. Here you spend a lot less, and in this way you can diversify your investment a little bit. Okay, not only invest in your country but invest here a little bit. Okay, a much more cheaper. A lot of gringos do this, by the way. Okay, they buy apartments here, buy homes and put to rent. Okay, this is a very nice idea. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Put in the comments if you have any questions. Okay, and that's it. I hope you enjoyed. See you. Bye bye.